Well, hello there, everyone. How you doing on this terrific Tuesday, May the 2nd, year 2023? Hopefully you're doing fantastic. Yes, I'm Mazske Finance, and I got a question for you. Is it safe to not be an investor? And with that being said, I'm Mazske Finance, and I'm coming to you currently from South Florida, the state that is slowly getting covered up by water. Anyway, I'm not a financial advisor, I'm not a meteorologist, I'm not a CPA, I'm not an attorney, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, nothing like that. I'm just a humble guy who shares his thoughts, experiences, his opinions at times, his investing successes and failures, and so on and so on. So anyway, the question is it safe to not be an investor? Because when you're an investor, you take so many risks, right? You might buy a rental property and have a tenant destroy it. You might buy a rental property and have a bad storm come in and tear the roof off. Sure, you might have homeowners insurance, but your deductible might be $2,000 or $5,000. And then your rates may keep going up where it affects your cash flow. Your taxes after you buy a property may get increased because now you paid more than the last buyer did. So then they reassess your property in a year or two and they raise your taxes, right? And if you invest in stocks, the market crashes a lot, right? And you put money in, and then 6 months later, it's less than what you put in, you're losing money. You try to buy crypto, and people get charged with embezzlement and that sort of thing. And so what is a person supposed to do? Should they not invest at all? That's the question. Because when I look around, so many Americans don't invest. They may say they can't. They may say they don't have enough money. They may say it's too risky. But yet, what doesn't have risk? If they don't want to invest, what's the risk? Well, the risk is they'll buy their toys. They'll buy their truck. They'll buy their boat. They'll buy their big house. And they'll keep working their job. And they'll think, well, I'll just work till I die. I heard that from a variety of coworkers over the years, that they made statements such as, I will work until I die. Okay, that used to be a good plan, but even now, we're losing jobs. AI, artificial intelligence, if you don't know what that is taking over a variety of jobs. Technology is growing. Virtual reality is growing. Bots, Bard from Google, and the other big one, the one that came out before Google came out with theirs, I forget the name. I remember on that one, whatever it's called, I played around with it and I said, hey, what's it take to have a successful YouTube channel? It wrote me a long reply, step by step of how to have a successful YouTube channel. It's like, wow, that's pretty cool. I can see students really having a ball with this when they got to write a paper. So anyway, if you decide you want to save money in the bank, okay? Interest rates in banks are finally starting to go up. And you can get 4, 4.5, 5. You can get CDs now, 5.25. But what's inflation running? So if you're saving in a bank, you might be losing money to inflation. But if you're investing, yes, it's risky. Oh, and the other thing is, if you don't lose your job, it seems like as the years go on, everything gets cut. Benefits get cut. Pensions are disappearing. They're eliminating positions. They're downsizing positions. So on and so on and so on. There's no guarantees with anything any longer, right? So is there a guarantee with investing? No, there's not. There's not. However, with that being said, if you become an investor and you start making investments and you buy assets you can touch and feel, real estate is the one that comes to mind for me, gold, silver, stuff like that, oil, you can touch all that stuff, right? It should hold some intrinsic value forever, unless the world crashes. Why? Because we need a place to live. If it's a house, we need oil to heat our homes, to power our cars, to make our clothing, to make our glasses, to make our watches, to make our plastic, to make everything. We need oil. And as of yet, and I'm a green person, I love nature, as of yet, there is no successful alternate to replace fossil fuels as our energy. And contrary to what was said 20, 30, 40 years ago, we have enough oil in this country underground, they think, to last us hundreds of years, if they just would drill and get it out. I know oil's not clean. I know it's dirty, okay? But we do not have a successful alternative just yet. So everything I said about real estate, could you have a tenant trash your house? Yeah, sure. Could you have your house, things on your house break? Yeah, sure. How am I living here in Florida? How am I living without working? I get rent every month that comes in. I was notified today I got some more rent coming in. And I got oil revenue that comes in and mineral rights revenue that comes in. And I still have a pension that comes in, but every year it's worth just a little bit less than what it was worth before. Okay? So, but as my houses, as I pay the mortgage every single month, I now own just a little bigger piece of that house. Some houses I have paid off, so I no longer am beholden to a bank, for them. And as each month goes on, as long as I can maintain tenants who don't get downsized and don't lose their job, then I can keep paying that mortgage. I do have a plan, now that I have a collection of real estate, to slowly start working to pay some of those mortgages off. That way, I want to get my safety net. I want to get enough houses paid off that if I have to have a bare bones existence and something bad happened and I lost my mortgages, I lost those homes, the paid off ones hopefully can give me enough income that I can live. Okay? So again, I throw out the question, is it safe to not be an investor? Is it safe to have a plan to work forever? I don't think it is. I think the answer is emphatically no, it's not. Can you count on a pension? No. Can you count on Social Security? No. Can you count on your parents when they pass away giving you an inheritance? No. I know people who would make those comments. Well, my mom and dad, I'm an only child. They got property worth X number of dollars. I'll get it when they die. What happens? People are living longer than ever. What happens if parents go into assisted living or a nursing home and their assets have to be sold to pay for their bills, in there? The inheritance may start dwindling down and maybe you don't get anything, okay? There's no guarantees in life. Never, all right? So what you got to do, though, in my humble opinion, is become an investor and stick with it. Formulate a plan. Learn how to buy that first rental house. There was a comment about the first step being the scariest step. I made a video, the first step is the hardest step. It can be for a lot of people. I know when I made that first step, it was easy to me. Now, I fell down after I made that first step because I made mistakes, but I got back up. I almost fell back down again a couple different times, but I always get back up and keep moving forward. All right. I moved here to Florida thinking I would love it here and spend the rest of my life here. I now realized I made a mistake. There's things that are happening here with the weather and extreme weather and flooding, and people keep moving here. Traffic's getting terrible. I had a doctor's appointment this morning. Big building, big parking lot, no parking spaces. Every time I go to the doctor, it's like I can't get a parking space. Every single doctor is always slam busy. It's like, I think there's a lot of old people in Florida, and I've heard they don't have enough doctors in this state. I think they're right. I think I'm starting to find that out. So if you plan to move like I moved, really try to research your area, especially as you get older. Look at what health insurance is going to cost, okay? Because I had to change my primary care physician because my last one last year stopped accepting my insurance. I was told today by a surgeon who has to deal with a couple of moles on my back that he's stopping towards the end of the month accepting Florida Blue, but I'll be grandfathered in, so he'll use it for me. But he said it's coming to an end. He's not going to accept that. It's Florida Blue. He's not going to accept that any longer. It's like Florida Blue. It's insurance in the state of Florida. If doctors are no longer accepting it, if fewer and fewer doctors are accepting it, that poses a problem. Because now you have fewer doctors to choose from, and will they keep accepting it? Will I have to change insurance if I was still here next year? If I do, what would that cost me? Because I'm retired. I don't get it through my job. I got to pay it out of my pocket. So if you're planning to become financially independent, how do you budget for health insurance? Because you don't know what it's going to cost. You don't know how much it's going to go up. So as an investor, as a person, you need to invest. And you need to grow your investments. And if you say, I will hear a YouTuber say, come up with your number, your financial independence number, $5,000 a month. And then once you get there, you're safe to become financially independent, retire. I disagree with them. I've heard so many different YouTubers say that, and I disagree with them. I think what you need to do is figure out what your number is, and then put a big cushion on it. I can't say what that cushion will be, but put a big cushion on it. Maybe double what if you think you need $5,000, maybe invest until you get $10,000 a month. Why would I say that? Because you want enough that even when you retire, you can keep growing your investments, and you want enough that if what you budgeted for is blown out of the water because everything gets more expensive, you can adapt and pay it and still have enough extra money to invest with. Okay? So my answer to my question I asked is yes, it is a mistake to not be an investor. Yes, we all need to invest. Yes, we need to keep investing for a number of reasons that I just talked about. And you need to keep getting more investments. Do we need to get greedy? Do we need 100 rental units? Do we need 200 rental units? If you're a competitive person, you're type A personality, and you're addicted to it, okay, go for it. If that's what you want to do, go for it. But there comes a point as an investor, how big do you want to get? Okay. I understand people want to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's a good problem to have, right? Because if you're not an investor, you can't think about that. But as an investor, you can have those discussions with yourself and with others. How big do I want to get? How big? Do I want $25,000 in cash a month? That's my goal. Positive cash flow. I got a long ways to go to get there, but I'm working towards it. But once I get to $25,000 a month, will that be enough? Or will I be making some video down the road saying, boy, yeah, $25,000 a month isn't what I thought it would be. I need to ramp up to get $50,000 a month. Will that happen to me? Who knows? You cannot predict the future, right? But to go back to what I said in the beginning, all I will say, in my humble opinion, is that every single working American needs to learn how to invest to make your future become the best possible future that it can be financially. Because it can help with so many things by having the finances. It can help pay for those medical bills and those doctor bills. It can help to buy you food. It can help to buy you a car. It can help to pay you rent or mortgage, to buy you clothing, to go to entertainment, and so on and so on and so on. Okay? So anyway, with that being said, I'm going to wrap this up. My videos may become sporadic over the next few days. Life is getting busy again. I am doing some traveling coming up soon. But you'll see me and you'll hear from me, perhaps in different spots. Or perhaps it might be a few days of a break. We shall see. All right, take care. Stay safe in all you do. Mazske is signing out.